What up? Lou Know It.
Hi.
My daughter.
Princess Dies.
Her YouTube account is The Princess Dies. So we're gonna do a review of Mulan, the live action 2020 Disney remake that they brought exclusively to Disney Plus. A warning for those of you that don't know: you do have to pay an extra $30 if you have the Disney Plus subscription. So it's still exclusive to Disney Plus, but don't sign up for Disney Plus thinking you're going to get Mulan for free. You're going to still have to pay an extra $30 on top of that.
And before this video starts, this is a spoilers alert.
Yes, we'll have spoilers. We'll assume you've seen the original Mulan. We'll reference it. I'll reference it. And this will have spoilers in terms of there are some differences that there's some changes they made. So if you want to go into the movie not knowing anything about the differences, the changes, then we come back, watch the review after that. Okay, so how should we start? You want to start?
I want to start with the difference between how the cartoon was, the storyline basically.
So in this one, they made a more serious approach. So they took out a lot of the sort of comic relief characters. So Mushu the dragon is not in it.
I think the Phoenix is a replacement for Mushu.
So they have. So apparently this is something I read, which actually I did mention to you, or I may have mentioned to you, but apparently some Chinese people complained about. Or had issues with the way they portrayed like ancestral worship and stuff in the original because they kind of, I guess they kind of made it a joke, and it was sort of inaccurate to the way that Chinese culture actually worships and stuff ancestors. So like they don't believe that they're like ghosts hanging around. I believe that's what it is, but in any way, in some ways, people felt like it was inaccurate. So in this one, they, instead of having like this kind of comical dragon sidekick that comes along, they have a phoenix the father has like this phoenix emblem, and he like prays to it, or he says, "Watch over my daughter," and you see the phoenix sort of flying over her. The phoenix never interferes with it never does anything, never interferes with anything in any way. The way that, for example, Mushu did in the original animated, where there's a couple parts, like the swimming scene, where he actually interacts with people, or that part where he's the one that gets them sent out by disguising himself on top of the panda, where the panda brigade. So this one, they just have like a symbolic phoenix that flies over her. So that's one difference. They also... There's none of the ghost ancestors. That stuff is not there. There's no songs. Actually, I went in knowing there was no songs. I was disappointed there wasn't more of the original music. They play it like at the very end. I think they play like the theme.
Like instrumental.
Right. There's like instrument. There's sort of like they do like different versions of certain songs, certain music, but. It had some great songs, and I wasn't expecting people to bust out singing, but I would have liked to see some of the music woven into it more. Other differences. So
there was no love part, right?
Not really. There's not really a love story. There's like a hint towards one. Her commander is played by Donnie Yen. That's another thing I want to touch on. The cast was great, but yeah, her commander is played by Donnie Yen, Ip Man, and he's been in a bunch of stuff. He's really famous in Chinese movies and or Chinese and Hong Kong, or Hong Kong movies. I get them confused, I must admit. But he's really popular in those, and he's made a crossover in the American market. So he's a much older commander. So they certainly, they wouldn't have done if they'd done a romantic subplot, they wouldn't have done it with him anyway. And he's not the emperor, he's not the general's son, that was the case in the animated one. That's not that significant. The witch wasn't in the original, right? So they have the falcon from the original that falls on the Huns, it's hanging around with the Hun and does a couple things. They have that falcon, but it's like that's a form of a witch that's helping the Hun, and that's a whole different state. That's a whole another plot differential. Like the witch, and then again, spoiler alert. She at the end, she kind of says they talk about chi in this, like Mulan has mastered her chi and stuff, and the witch basically talks about how, like, you know, you need these guys aren't going to accept you. They didn't accept me, and that's why I became this witch that's sort of a slave almost to the Hun leader, who's played by Jason Scott Lee. Again, great cast. And in the end, she ends up sort of she sees that Mulan is taking the path that I think she wishes she had taken, kind of. So what other changes were there? The Emperor can fight.
Oh, okay. So
and he was played by Jet Li again.
So,
casting. What else? You talking about a change?
In the original, she had no idea, like, whatsoever on training. But in
oh
the
yeah,
new
that's a.
I'm talking here.
Sorry. I apologize.
So so in the new one, she was already trained, as you could, in the Star. Spoiler alert, of course. She does have a lot of skill.
Wait, in the original one, she wasn't trained.
No.
Right. That's okay.
I'm talking about.
And this one, she's trained.
Yeah, she's trained at the start.
Even when she was a kid, right?
Yes.
Also, they show her as a kid. They didn't show her as a kid in the original.
And
yeah, she's really good at fighting. And so they don't really explain who trained, like how she's so nice. Because she's like, there's a scene where she's a kid where they show her like jumping up on a roof and then people are kind of like, why is this girl like doing all this kung fu moves and stuff?
I mean, I personally think it's her dad because he was a soldier.
They never show him training her though. It's more like sort of like the Star Wars, the Force thing. They talk about chi, and she has chi. Her chi is like strong, and so I think that's part of it. She's like sort of destined for it. And then I think her military father has something to do with it. So yeah, she's dead nice from early on, and then they still have like a training thing where she gets stronger, but it's not like in the that's one of the things that's honestly more realistic. Like if you think about it. In the original animated one, for an untrained girl to go in and be like dead nice in like a matter of, I don't know what it's supposed to be in the movie, but it seems like weeks. 2 days. Well, it seems I think it's more expensive, more than 2 days, but it's just there's no way it would happen. Whereas in this one, I felt like it was a little bit more realistic that she was like nice from the beginning, and she gets mad. She gets mad nice. The Emperor gets nice. That caught me off guard. But then again, he's played by Jet Li. My daughter doesn't know Jet Li is famous martial artist, one of the most famous martial artists, martial art movies. She's not into that kind of stuff as much. Maybe one day I'll get her into it. But I'm a big Jet Li fan, and I haven't seen him in a movie in a while. So that was just I kept doing double takes because like Jason Scott Lee, he was the star of Dragon, Bruce Lee's story, which is another great movie. You gotta watch. We can watch that actually now. And he plays the Hun leader. He was perfect. When he was younger, he was bigger. You see it. There's one shot where they show his forearm looking diesel, but they don't really show how big. He kind of big, but when he was younger, he was mad big. He was also the villain in Soldier, Kurt Russell, and he never had as good of a career as I think he deserved. So that can I say the casting? Like you didn't know a lot of actors, but Donnie Yen, Ip Man, he plays the commander.
Do you know who plays Mulan?
I don't know the actress that plays Mulan. I thought the actress that played her mom was what's her name from some different movies. She was in I forget her name, but she was a martial artist also. But it wasn't her; it was somebody else. I recognize the guy who played her father, but I don't know the actor's name. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. Then Jason Scott Lee plays the Hun dude. Jet Li, as who I mentioned, who's the man, plays the Emperor, and he gets nice at one point, which caught me off guard. Even though it was Jet Li, just because I didn't think the Emperor was supposed to be, in the original he's like a frail old man. And yeah, a lot less. They have like little references to the original, like these, like when they're talking, and they have like a little discussion about women, and he's like, I don't mind how she looks, I just care how she cooks, which was one of the lyrics from the song. One of the songs from the original, the fat guy sings that part, and they have like a bigger guy who's not really fat. Oh yeah, so you want to tell them about cricket?
Yeah. Okay. So in the original, there's this little cricket that's used for good luck from the grandma. She's like, "Oh, have this cricket. It's a charm for good luck." And so they didn't have the actual animal in the new one, but there was this guy. There was one of the soldiers whose name was Cricket, and he said, "My mom says I'm a charm for good luck." And so I thought that was really cool that they transferred it, but it was a human instead of an animal.
Right, like they referenced the original with that. What other references they had the original? So they had that. They had like you said, the phoenix, which was sort of representative of the dragon. They had, like, for example, they don't in the original. She comes back to her father with the sigil of the emperor, and so she's like, "Here's the Hun sword." So in this one, they give her a sword, a new sword that's like forged because she loses her father's sword, and they've added an extra tenant. Okay, so I don't know if they call them tenants or whatever, but they have like these like sayings on the inscription on the sword, which is like loyalty, truth,
loyal, bravery, and true.
Loyal, courage, and courageous. No, true. Loyal, brave, and true. Loyal, brave, and true.
Loyal, bravery, and true.
Okay.
And then devotion to family.
That's what I'm getting to. So they give her a sword at the end, which has a new one on the back of it that says
devotion to family.
Okay, so that was different also. And then just in general.
Oh. Can I done?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Wait. Is that we were talking about differences? Is this gonna be a difference or something else?
It's gonna be like from the cricket thing, remember?
Okay.
Okay, so in the original, they have the part where she shows herself as a proper woman, and she goes to test that, and so she's pouring the tea, and the cricket, and he messes everything up. So basically, in the original, since the cricket's a human and doesn't go until when she goes into the academy, the spider is the one that messes up everything.
Sort of, yeah. The spider's the one that causes it. Although they in this one it's even lesser fault because her sister, she has a sister. Oh, that's right. Another thing, her sister, she has a sister in this. Oh, they got rid of the grandmother. There's no grandmother. The grandmother was like a silly. She's the one that gave her the cricket. She was kind of like comic relief. Like when the guy shows up at the end, she's like, "Ooh, give me, I want to join up for the next war." And this one, so there's no grandmother. And yeah, they have like a little spider that she's trying to cover up because her sister is afraid of spiders. And then her sister ends up kicking the table over. She tries to catch everything, but because her hair falls in her face, because she's not used to being like this sort of. I think the point of that was that she's not really like a lady, like in the sense that they want her to be, and so she's not used to having her hair like that. Falls in her face, gets in her way. She drops the stuff, and they get everything that's mad. But it wasn't really a fall. And then really the battles played out somewhat differently. They have the avalanche thing, but it's not like she shoots. It's not like she shoots an arrow. She tricks them into shooting a catapult at the thing, which is more realistic. The whole thing at the end was a little bit different. The fight at the end, so that's all I can think of the differences. Like I said, casting was great, so. No songs. I mean, I love the songs, the original. This one, it just had a more serious tone. So is there anything else you want to say? What's your overall rating of the movie?
I want to give it a 7.5 because it was very different
it
was very different from the original, and I like the original way better.
That's low for her. I would give it an 8, I think. 7.5 is pretty accurate. I think that, and the one thing, I don't know if you noticed or bothered you at all, but the sets and stuff felt a little bit fake to me. Like, not, obviously sets are fake, but you could tell it was a set. Like, you could tell the little town was just one set. The costumes felt a little too, like,
the
bright.
Costumes were so good.
You like the costumes? Her costume was fine. The warriors were fine. When they showed the city shots where you saw people, it didn't look authentic to me. Now, I don't know. I didn't grow up in ancient China, but like, or modern China for that matter. But it didn't feel authentic to me. Like the main characters' costumes felt authentic. It was like the side characters. So, but overall, I liked it. What did you think? What did you think of the action? What did you think of the fight scenes?
Okay, so that was really good. I liked how there's like some really good parts. So there's this one part where she first meets the witch, and the witch throws this blade at her, and you think she's dead, but so she's pretending to be a man, so she has this thing to hide her, you know.
Which was the same as the original.
Yeah, things are hide her thing. So
or
yeah.
Similar at least.
Anyways, so it's not.
The blade doesn't get into it. It's like.
Well, it's not exactly what I'm saying. My point is that I think the action's really cool and how they throw it and the arrows and
What did you think of that move she did? She did it twice, at least twice.
What?
Where she did they knocked like a spear in the air and then she did like a flip and kicked it.
Oh.
She did it like 3 times. She did it once with an arrow. When she and that's one thing. Honestly, in Disney movies, you don't usually see them kill the bad guy. Like the bad guy usually like falls off a ledge. You look at like Lion King, all these movies. It's always like the bad guy sort of kills himself. So in this one, they do have Jason Scott Lee, the Hun leader, fall down to the ground, but then he shoots an arrow, right?
Yeah. And
she unties the Emperor's hands in time for the Emperor to catch the arrow. Like I said, they made the Emperor dead nice. Like, he meant caught an arrow. Like, waka! He said that too. He was like, waka! No, I'm just kidding. Then, so he catches the arrow, then he flicks it up, and she does the same move she did with spears, where she does this, like, spin kick thing to kick the arrow
down.
And boom, into his heart. Like, she deaded him, yo. You don't usually see that in Disney movies. I liked it. But I kind of, my daughter said that she kind of felt a little bad for him, and I kind of felt where she was coming from on that. Like, they made him, I don't know.
His dad died too.
I think it's because Jason Scott Lee is a good actor. So, like, and also I like Jason Scott Lee. She doesn't even know who he is. So that couldn't have been the case for her. But maybe that's a testament to his acting that he had. You know, he showed a little emotion in the face. You know what I mean?
Emotion.
But yeah. So, anything else we want to point out?
No.
Yeah, the action was dope. I mean, action could have been better. It was very like wire worky, you know, kind of stuff. Choreography was like, you know, so. Donnie Yen was the nicest one in it, and he only really just does a couple little things, but he was I guess he's probably one of the only real martial artists. I mean, Jet Li's a real martial artist, but he's you know, minimal stuff in it. They let him shine a little bit though. Props to them for letting Jet Li shine. Props to Disney, honestly, for casting all these like Jet Li, Jason Scott Lee, like both of them. Jet Li, both of them didn't get nearly enough shine in America. So I props to them for casting those people.
So we're gonna end this here.
But it was good. It was good. We both liked it, but it could have been a little bit better.
If you guys like Disney, comment down below your favorite Disney movie. Let us know.
Yeah, sure. Or best Disney remake. How about that? What's your favorite Disney remake?
Okay.
And I put this. I mean, wait. Let's end with that. Where would you rank this in the Disney remakes?
Okay.
I mean, with the 7.5, it must not be that high. You must be the worst Disney remake for you. I mean, what we got? We got Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella. What else did they do? Aladdin. What else? Lion King. Jungle Book.
I put Mulan here and Lion King here.
So I don't know what you mean. Where you
Mulan is 4th place.
Fourth. So what's worse than Mulan? Which one is worse than Mulan?
I don't like Lion King very well.
Oh, shots fired.
Sorry, I like the musical
shots
though.
Fired. John Favreau is coming for you.
I love the musical though.
I feel you. The Lion King was a little lackluster. Aladdin was meh to me, except for the Will Smith killed it. I like Will Smith in the movie. You know, the
Will
song
Smith
in the beginning.
is my favorite. Oh,
the song in the
I
beginning.
love him.
The song. we gotta tell you, we gotta go back and watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I grew up on watching that, on watching this dude.
Okay.
So for me, I would rank this above Aladdin. Above. Nice. Honestly, I'll rank this above everything except.
No, you can't.
Beauty and the Beast. Cinderella was good. Cinderella was good.
I love. Okay, I put my top Beauty and the Beast.
I was never a Cinderella fan, really.
How dare you?
I'm just saying, yo. What kind of sense does glass slippers make? How you gonna be walking around with glass slippers?
I want to. You know what I want to see the remake of?
What?
Princess and the Frog.
That's too recent, man. That's the last one they did. They're gonna do all the old classics first.
I know.
If that one didn't do that one, that's the movie that shut down the 2D studio. That's the last. That movie did not do that well. That's,
really?
Yeah, that's why that was the last movie from the 2D animation studio from Disney. I grew up on the 2D. It's true, you know, close to my heart. The 2D animation. I miss them.
What about what do you call? What's the movie called?
I mean, they're gonna do Little Mermaid. You see who
they're gonna do.
You didn't see who they casted? I'll show you after. I'll show you after this who they cast. There's some controversy over the casting.
What's that girl called?
They didn't cast a white girl. So
the song you were saying.
What?
Something with a P. The Disney movie that starts with a P.
Pocahontas?
Pocahontas.
Hey, you know, yeah, that would be dope too. All right, so yeah, that's there we go. So, you know, I mean, honestly, if you're a fan, you got to see it. I recommend it. It's going to come out December 4th for free for Disney Plus subscribers, so you can wait if you really can wait that long. But as a fan, you know, I recommend it. I say support it. You know, I like the way they did. It wasn't like, and you know, I liked a lot of the changes they made. You know, I'm gonna say a strong 8. I'm gonna say a strong 8. Honestly, I'm gonna say a strong 8. So, that's it.
That's it.
Signing off.
Subscribe to me. I'm the Princess Dice.
Yeah, I'll put her channel in the link in the description.
Well, bye.